Good morning and welcome to the Sunday morning service at the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship in Laguna Beach. My name is Dara Skarecky and I will be serving as the worship associate this morning. Our Zoom and audio-visual text today are Don West Jr. and Pam Flodman, and our music will be led by our talented music director, Carole. The land on which we join together in worship is the ancestral and unceded territory of the Ahoshman and Tongva tribes. We offer our gratitude to the First Nations for their care of the earth and for their teachings, and with humility, we commit to learning and working on behalf of justice. This morning, we are delighted to welcome to the UUFLB, Kecia Jones, for a service that is titled Wheelchairs for All. Kecia works with Free Wheelchair Mission. Free Wheelchair Mission is a humanitarian, faith-based nonprofit that designs and manufactures cost-efficient, durable wheelchairs for developing countries around the world. In collaboration with a network of like-minded partners, Free Wheelchair Mission has distributed more than 1.4 million wheelchairs to people living with disabilities in 95 developing countries around the world, providing renewed dignity, independence, and hope through the gift of mobility, and no cost to the recipient. Our speaker Kecia Jones, is a former children's pastor and now works for the nonprofit Free Wheelchair Mission to help less fortunate people around the world gain mobility and a better quality of life. Each Sunday, anywhere there is a service held in a Unitarian Universalist congregation, a chalice is lit. The flaming chalice is the symbol of our faith. If you have joined us this morning by Zoom, I invite you to light a chalice within your home as my mother, Pam Flodman, lights the chalice for us here at UUFLB. I will read the chalice lighting words titled, "We Hold That Moment in Our Spirit." It was written by Adam Slate, a UU Ministerial Fellowship candidate currently serving an internship at Rosslyn Hill Unitarian Chapel in London and pursuing a Master of Divinity at Phillips Theological Seminary. When the great mosaic of humanity is treated with respect and dignity, when no person is threatened by hunger or war, when we have extended hospitality to the stranger and tended to the sick, when equity and justice reign everywhere, then we shall all be free. We light this flame to hold that moment in our spirit and in our minds until we can make it real. Thank you, Mom, for lighting our chalice this morning to begin our time of worship. Throughout the service this morning, if you are here with us in the building, I invite you, if you wish, to come forward and light a candle here in the sanctuary in recognition of whatever you are carrying in your heart as you join us for worship today. At UUFLB, we are a welcoming congregation. Whoever you are, whomever you love, no matter your age or gender, your ancestral or ethnic background, and whatever sincere questions that you bring with you today, we welcome you to our community of mutual caring and serious intent to grow as spiritual and ethical beings. Many thanks to everyone at UUFLB who works together each week to create opportunities for us to worship together and to be together in community. Our board, our worship committee, and everyone who helps to prepare each week for our Sunday morning worship services and other events such as Zoom at noon discussion group. We also know that there are always more opportunities to work together and more to be done. So if you are looking for a way to become more involved, please reach out. For those of you who are new to our community, please connect with us after service If you would like to be added to our email mailing list so that you can receive advance notice of each service and other events. Connecting with each other is the way in which we build community as a strong base from which we can go out and make a difference in the world. On the slide that Dawn will put up for you is information about upcoming services here at UUFLB. On March 3rd, we have Reverend Terry LePage will be joining us to lead the service. On March 10th, Charles Langley of Public Watchdogs, which is committed to ensuring that the public has access information about regulatory agencies, including the California Public Utilities Commission, conduct the public's business. On March 17th, a UUFLB board member, Don West Jr., will lead the service. And announcements are Zoom at noon. And do we have any other announcements? Nope. Okay. It is such a joy for us to have guests on Sunday mornings. If you are here this morning for the first or second time, we'd like to get to know you. If you are comfortable doing so, would you please stand up and share with us your name, where you are from, and what brings you to visit our church today? Are there anybody on Zoom this morning? Is there anyone in the building that would like to introduce themselves? Okay, then now let's take a moment to turn to our neighbors for a quick greeting and offer a personal welcome to old and new friends.
Hi, Jean, old friend.
Hello, Jean and Carolyn.
Hi there.
Hi, Jean, old friend. How many years has it been, Jean?
Quite a while. Yes, it is.
A long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
You moved away and left me. Oh,
Oh, dear. Oh, Dawn, it was Madonna, not Lady Gaga.
We were talking about the same person because I've heard that she's been late to lots of shows.
Ah, yeah. Yeah. Well, they won't make that a mistake again, that's for sure.
Thank you all for joining us here at UUFLB this morning. We hope that everyone has a few minutes to stay, enjoy coffee and conversations, either inside the church or out on our front patio after the service. And if you are visiting us this morning, please let us know if you would like to be added to our email or mailing list so that you can receive advance notice of each service and other events. Our gathering music was Humble and Kind by Tim McGraw. Each Social Justice Sunday service matches with our seventh principle, which is respect for the interdependent web of life, but also our first principle, the inherent worth of dignity of every person. I think that this song exemplifies both of those well. His song talks about how to treat people and things with the humility and kindness that they deserve, but also how you can do that simply. It takes that humility and kindness that he talks about to take what we learn on Social Justice Sundays and use that information in our lives outside of this sanctuary. Our centering thought this morning is from the Gray Hymnal, reading 418, adapted words from Israel Zangwill, a British author. I invite you to if you wish, to read these words together with me and to unmute yourselves if you have joined us this morning on Zoom. Come into the morning by Zoom. Oh, okay. Come into the circle of love and justice. Come into the community of mercy, holiness, and health. Come and you shall know peace and joy. Our opening hymn this morning is number 170 in the Gray Hymnal, We Are a Gentle, Angry People. For those of you who are joining by Zoom, they will be on the screen. Please stand if you wish and join with our amazing and talented music director, Carole, in singing number 170, We Are Gentle, Angry People.
We are a gentle, angry people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a gentle, angry people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a justice-seeking people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a justice-seeking people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are young and old together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are young and old together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a land of many colors, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a land of many colors, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are gay and straight together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. Gay and straight together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a gentle, loving people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a gentle, loving people, and we are singing, singing for our lives.
Let us take a moment to remind ourselves why we come together as a community. I invite you to read these words together when and if it feels right for you. If you wish, please unmute your microphone so that we can feel the power when we join our voices together. The words of the unison affirmation will be on your screen. Please join me in reading.
Love
Love is the
Love
is the
spirit of
spirit
this
of
fellowship,
this fellowship,
and
and
service
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 is its
law.
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 This is
This
our
is
This
our
is our
great
great
covenant.
covenant.
well
To
together,
dwell
Dwell
together in
in
peace,
peace.
seek
to
the
seek
truth
the
in
truth
love,
Seek the
in
truth
love,
and
in
to
love.
help
and
one
help
another.
To
one
help
another.
one another.
Help one another.
We have come to a time in our service to briefly share the important events that have touched our lives in the past week. Our joys, when shared, are magnified, and in sharing our sorrows, we provide the support and care that are vital for all of us in community. During this time of sharing our joys and sorrows, we have paused the recording of the service. As much a blessing to be able to give as it is to receive. In this self-governing and self-sustaining community, we recognize that it is a responsibility to do both well. Our fellowship depends on the love and generous contributions for our members. We are empowered by the immeasurable gifts of those who join in covenant with us, time, compassion, humor, and financial contributions. And all of our gifts generously given are needed for this fellowship and for its continued good work in the world. During this time of offering, we will be passing a basket within the fellowship. The information on your screen provides 2 additional ways in which you can give, either electronically on the left or by sending a check to the fellowship. Please join us now in singing to each other words of sincere gratitude. Please join us now in singing to each other words of sincere gratitude. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. You I receive, to you I give,
Together we share, and from this we live.
Now, please settle yourself comfortably. You may want to close your eyes and let your hands and body rest. Breathe in and out, in and out. Feel your shoulders relax as you breathe in and out. Please join me in a short time of quiet meditation. I now welcome our speaker, Kecia Jones.
Good morning, everybody. I am so grateful to be here. My name is Kecia Jones, and I am the Development Officer in charge of church relations at Free Wheelchair Mission. And I brought one of our wheelchairs here to show you. And at the end, I'll take it down so that I can show you some of the unique features about our wheelchair. But you possibly have never heard of us before, which is why I'm glad to be here. We are located in Irvine, and we're a faith-based nonprofit, and what we do is we give these wheelchairs to people in developing countries. And we, like Dara said, we've given out more than 1.4 million in 95 different countries all over the world, which is amazing, especially because our wheelchairs are only $96 each. But unfortunately, 80 million people around the world need a wheelchair and can't afford it, which is just tragic, because when you don't have mobility, your life shuts down. And if you can't sustain your family financially, it affects your whole family. And not having mobility limits your education, it limits your access to things, and it's just not the way we were designed to live. So we, like Dara said, she did her homework. She did a great job of representing who we are for you guys. We manufacture, ship, and distribute these wheelchairs in all over the world through a system of like-minded partners. Some of our partners are churches, some are nonprofits, some are hospitals. And this wheelchair is really unique. It's durable, and it's designed to be used in some areas that, like, we don't have nice sidewalks in those countries that we're talking about. So it has bike tires on purpose so that you can buy those anywhere in the world. It closes, it folds to go on public transportation. It has a tool in the foot plate for when the nuts and bolts become loose. And it even has a bike pump underneath on the part of the wheelchair nearest to the wheel for when the tires become loose. So if you hear that number again, though, 80 million people who need mobility and can't afford it, that's kind of a shocking number. That number really surprised me when I joined this organization. And as you can see, though, with 80 million who need mobility, who need a wheelchair and can't afford it, that's 80 million different times that we can show God's love to people by giving them the gift of mobility. And these wheelchairs are given, they're free to the recipient because they're paid by people here in the US, whether it's churches, organizations, individuals, foundations, but that's 80 million chances to show people that God loves them. So churches are a big part of our story. Our first wheelchair was actually given out on a church mission trip. And we were started by an MIT biomed engineer who was in Morocco with his wife on vacation. And they saw a woman crawling across a dirt road, and it was a busy road, and people were just stepping all around her and over her. And Don's heart was moved, and when he came home from that trip, God just whispered to him that he had given him talents that would be able to bless people and change people's lives. And so Don started thinking of, how can I do this? How can I fashion something that would answer the problem for that woman? So he came home and he got one of those old white chairs that everybody used to have in their backyard, the lawn chair, and he got some tires, put it on the sides, and it was crude, but it was something. It was better than nothing. And now we have up to Gen 3. We give away Gen 2 and Gen 3. We don't give those away anymore, but that was how we started. And we were started in 2001. And since then, like Dara said, we've given out more than 1.4 million wheelchairs because of the generosity of people like you. So a wheelchair doesn't change just the life of the person who's placed into it. It changes the lives of their caregivers, their families. There might be a mom who had to lock her child up and go to work and lock her kid within their home because their child maybe was too big to carry to school, so their child had to stop going to school. And obviously that gives you a much darker future. Once you receive mobility, your future is brighter and your dignity is restored. And you have access now to church, to a job, to school. So our wheelchairs don't just change the life of the recipient, but the people around them. And we're going to watch a really short video right now that gives you a great overview of who we are and what we do, and it's narrated by our founder and president, Don Schoendorfer.
There's a very unique movement in the work that we do here at Free Wheelchair Mission. There's this movement of transformation when we give somebody a wheelchair. It's sudden, but a world of opportunity opens for them. And they start to think about, well, maybe now I can get to school. I can earn a living. I can go to church. I can watch the sun come up. I can meet with friends because of this wheelchair. So then they go outside for maybe the very first time with this wheelchair, and they smell fresh air, and they see the clouds, they see the blue sky, and they start to see people they haven't seen for maybe years, and they're seeing them eye to eye. They're not looking at their feet. And they think, this is life. This is a gift for me. This is the miracle. And this gift not only transforms the life of the person using the wheelchair, but also the lives of the family members, the caregivers, and the whole community. It's such a powerful thing. And this is what we do every time we give away a wheelchair. And we do this because this is what we've been called to do. When I first learned about the worldwide need for mobility, I felt this nudge from God to do something about it. I knew that God had equipped me with many gifts and education as a biomedical engineer. So I started to build wheelchairs, prototypes in my garage, and God helped me. We like to think holistically about our mission, starting from the engineering of the wheelchair, but we don't stop there. We go all the way to the emotional and spiritual well-being of the recipient. We like to tell them, when you're in this wheelchair, we want you to feel you're in God's hands. What I ask of you is that you would keep us in your prayers, that we can continue to share the love of God around the world by giving the gift of mobility. Our wheelchairs are an expression of God's grace. They cost their recipients absolutely nothing because they are paid for by somebody else. That somebody else is you. You know, for the most part, the people we serve with our wheelchairs, they've given up hope for ever getting a wheelchair. And sometimes they've never even seen one or heard of one. They're kept alive by their loving family, by sometimes neighbors. And then you show up with this wheelchair. And that from that moment on, it's a miracle. To them, it's literally a miracle to receive a gift from you to them and giving them the mobility that they should have had all their lives, and they've lost it. And now they have a chance to just be a human again. It's a miracle. Thank you.
And you can tell by hearing Don's voice, he's a very humble man. He's amazing, and he and his team of engineers have done such an amazing job of providing a wheelchair that is only 38 pounds, but changes somebody's life completely. So it was flashed in the video, but Matthew 25:40 says, "The king will reply, 'Truly I tell you, whatever you did for the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me.'" So a wheelchair is a way to show God's love, but it's also a way to just bring dignity back to somebody's life, or maybe for the first time. So I want to show you a clip in just a moment. It's very short, but it's about what happens when we deliver a wheelchair to somebody through our partnerships. In lots of parts of the world, if you've traveled, you may have experienced this. People who have a disability think that they're not valued and that they're not significant and they don't have hope and they don't have purpose, which limits their opportunities. But when they receive this wheelchair and they receive and hear the truth of who they are and how God loves them, now they can have hope, they can have a brighter future, and they can hear maybe for the first time ever that their creator created them that way and loves them. And so what you're going to see is actually cell phone video from our CEO when she traveled to Brazil. And you're going to see a girl who is 15, and the moment she's placed into the wheelchair, but the moment she starts hearing about God's love for her, her response is just amazing. You're going to notice that the interpreter who is speaking Portuguese to her, he has to gather himself a few times because he's so moved at her response and just the moment. So it's basically a wheelchair distribution, and it's like you're there. So it's what happens when we take what God has entrusted us with and we point people to the truth of who they are and how they are loved and they have purpose and they're worthy. So I would say in a congregation your size that it would not be a crazy goal to say that you guys could commit to possibly changing the lives of 20 people. And again, you're not changing just that person's life who receives the wheelchair, but the whole family. A dad who can't go to work and can't financially contribute to his family, or a child who has stopped going to school because they've outgrown their parent who can't carry them anymore. So, you know, a parent who can change their family's financial status, you guys know that's everything. That's amazing. And getting an education where, you know, otherwise you weren't able to, that changes your entire future. So my hope is that after you see this video too, that you'll be inspired to join us in our mission, especially because I have tried. I can't think of another thing for less than $100 that I could give someone that would change their life forever. And our wheelchairs are only $96. So we would love to have you join our mission. I'm going to be here after the service if you'd like to talk to me or ask questions, and I'll show you some of those features that I talked about. If you feel moved to give a gift, we would humbly request that, and we would be really grateful for that gift. And if you'd like to give online, just be sure to mention the name of your church, because I would love to reflect back what your impact is. So we're going to watch that short video now, and thank you so much for the invitation to come and share about Free Wheelchair Mission with you.
Tem uma mensagem para você. Está recebendo o presente da mobilidade. Jesus Cristo te ama. Por isso, você está recebendo essa cadeira de rodas. Acreditamos que essa cadeira é um presente de Deus para a sua vida. Ele te criou e te ama como filha, tal como você é. Por acreditarmos em Jesus, fomos chamados para servir. Fomos chamados para servir uns aos outros. Oramos para que você também acredite, sirva e glorifique o nome dele. Que Deus te abençoe.
Thank you, Kecia. Our closing hymn this morning is number 131, Love Will Guide Us. The words will be on the screens. Please rise as you are comfortable and join Carole in singing number 131, Love Will Guide Us.
Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope will find us, will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night.
Now it is the time for us to extinguish the chalice at UUFLB and within our homes. As we extinguish the flame on our chalice, we ignite it inside ourselves. Our commitment to our mission and to one another is an unquenchable flame. Let us remember that we are not alone until we light this flame next time. And now let us join together in our closing song, Let There Be Peace on Earth.
Colty, you want to sing? Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With earth as our mother, we are family. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow to take each moment, live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth. Let it begin with me. Have a lovely day.